Welcome to Wisconsin DNR's Wild Wisconsin Off the Record podcast. Information straight from the source.
Welcome back to another episode of Wild Wisconsin Off the Record. I'm your host, DNR's Digital Media Coordinator, Katie Grant. Many outdoor activities can seem really intimidating at first, and when you start adding equipment, that feeling only multiplies. That's when our Hunt for Food programs hit your radar to remove some of that anxiety. On today's episode, I sat down with Flora Csontos and Martin Perales to learn about their experience in the programs. Now, Martin and Flora aren't Wisconsin natives. In fact, they just moved here about 4 years ago from California. But even though they're new to Wisconsin, they were interested in these classes for reasons that anyone might connect with. They're outdoorsy and they wanted to try something new. They didn't grow up hunting, and they wanted to know where their food came from. Anyway, enough from me. Let's hear from them. To get started, why don't you each tell us just a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
My name is Flora. I became interested in the course mostly through watching my husband hunt and seeing the wonderful benefits of that on the table and in the kitchen. I was a little intimidated to try hunting with a bigger animal like deer or anything very gear intensive like waterfowl hunting. So I noticed this turkey class come up and I jumped at the chance. And then we both ended up signing up, which was really fun to do together. I come from a family that is outdoorsy but does not hunt. And that was, I think they're also interested in learning about my experience because we as a family don't have, shared memories around hunting, but they're very open in learning about why it matters to me from an ethical perspective, why it matters for just a clean food perspective, and what it's brought to my life socially and hobby-wise.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
I work in government. I've worked for a couple different elected officials in the state. I'm rather new to Wisconsin and new to working in government, but before that I worked for a couple nonprofits and worked on a lot of different social justice issues.
Cool. How long have you guys been in the state?
Been here for 4 years now.
4 years?
Yeah.
Where were you before this? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, Sacramento, California.
Sacramento. Yeah. All right. What brought you to Wisconsin?
I'll cue you.
That's me. So I'm Martin, and I'm a graduate student at the UW-Madison. I study limnology, specifically fish biology, and really interested in how humans just affect communities, fish communities mostly. So that's sort of what I study and why we moved here, actually. As far as sort of my background with fishing and hunting and that kind of stuff, I'm sort of a late bloomer. I started fishing probably when I was 19 or so, something like that. I just went fishing with a friend randomly. I don't really come from a family that fishes or hunts or does that kind of thing, but just randomly got invited to go bass fishing with a friend and started that. Thought it was really fun. I found it really relaxing and meditative, and that actually kick-started my sort of career in terms of like what I wanted to study. I was early in my college years and I hadn't really figured out what I wanted to do, but fishing and being outside a lot really interested me in ecology, and so I kind of went down that path, and years later here I am actually getting a PhD in it, and I'm an avid angler now to this day. I fly fish and fish out of a kayak, out of a boat, or offshore, whatever I can do. I'm trying to get out and do some fishing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, congrats on making it this far.
Yeah, thanks.
Other than hunting, fishing, do you guys have any other outdoor interests you guys? Hike, kayak?
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, all of that.
We did a lot of camping and backpacking in California, and did a lot of birding as well. And we do that stuff here, although I feel like we're way more busier here than we were in college in California, so our time is limited. But still try and get out and bird and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, hiking, camping. The Midwest is great at water recreation, so we've picked up a little more of being on lakes and kayaking or paddle boarding. And hunting is a great mix between hiking and camping and bird watching. If you like all of those things, you will love hunting, because very little of it is actually killing, and a lot of it is about being outside. And so it was really, later for me than for him, but it was a natural fit if you're outdoorsy.
Right. So, Flora, you had mentioned that you got interested because Martine was hunting. How did you become interested in kind of taking that jump from fishing to hunting?
So as an undergrad, I was studying wildlife fish and conservation biology in California, and there was actually a program similar to the DNR's program, and it was geared towards wildlife professionals that didn't have hunting or fishing backgrounds, really. And the idea was to be a better wildlife or fisheries biologist, you need to understand sort of the, not really, not your constituents, but your, like the people that you're serving, or the people like managers, right? And who the managers are responding to, which are hunters and anglers. And so this class, took a couple students out and actually did some waterfowl hunting. And that's how I got started in hunting. That was in 2012. Something like that, and then I hunted waterfowl for a couple years in California.
Martine, you have done several programs with us.
Yes.
I know when I asked you the other day, you struggled to remember them all. What, off the top of your head, programs have you done with us?
The most involved one was definitely the deer hunting one, the rifle deer hunting class. That was a blast. I've also done a squirrel hunting one. And I've done an ice fishing class as well, which is sort of related to what we're doing here. And I'm currently signed up for the bow hunting class, and then Flora and I took the turkey class together.
Turkey. So you've only done the turkey one, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that was this last spring?
Yes, took the class in April, I think it was, or May, yeah.
Okay, all right. How did you guys hear about us offering these programs?
I heard from one of my colleagues who, this was years ago, like 4 years ago when we first got here. Somebody else in my graduate cohort did the turkey class, and then they were sending me sort of these emails every once in a while as they were coming into his inbox, and then finally I just signed up for the deer hunting class.
Okay.
And just had a blast in that class, and it took off like wildfire from there.
Awesome. Before you took the class, did you have any, expectations of what the class would be? And did it meet what you thought it would be, or was it completely different?
I wasn't really sure what to expect from the deer hunting class. I hadn't really thought about it, really hadn't done any homework. It was sort of a spur-of-the-moment thing, honestly. And I was pretty satisfied in terms of my hobbies with, hunting waterfowl and fishing. But there's such a strong deer hunting tradition here that after a while I finally just, buckled and said, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot. And I didn't really know what to expect. There's all these sort of stereotypes in the media of what, we, as sort of the society thinks hunters are. And, I was kind of half expecting a little bit of that, but I really did not get any sense of any negative stereotypes of hunters during this class. And even the people that we met, the mentors, everyone was really well behaved, strong believers in fair chase, and what I saw as ethical users of the land. So that was really impressive to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being surprised by the gender balance in the class and the age range. A bit of a racial mix and balance too. That made me feel more comfortable, and it was not something I was expecting. It was, more fun. I expected some fun because it's a hobby, and it was even more fun than I thought it would be. I met some really great folks that I'm still in touch with and plan to stay in touch with. And it was really a great group of people. And it was one of the things that the two mentors in the turkey class impressed upon us was, that it's not like you're ever done learning how to hunt. And so it really helped me move past I need to know this, this, and this before I ever even try hunting. You can just try it. It's everyone's land. Anyone can go. I mean, you should have gun safety training, obviously. But it's a right for everyone, and you don't have to know anything special or be anyone special to go and try it.
What was the best part for each of you about participating in these programs?
The best part for me was certainly the excuse it gives you to be outside. I mean, we spent dozens of hours in the name of hunting, tromping around and sitting under trees and wading through weeds. And that is great. I mean, what else lets you go outside for that long and claim that you're doing something when you're really just waiting and hoping to see
something,
a specific animal walk by? I really enjoyed the permission it gives you to just be outside, and the people were up there. It's sort of an equal, wonderful takeaway. The folks that we met were wonderful, and we're new to Wisconsin, and so it was great to have this new group of people. And we're both working young professionals, and it's really hard to meet people outside of your immediate network. But we met folks from all walks of life, and it's just a great way to build new relationships around a shared value and a shared hobby.
So when you say the other people, you mean other participants, right?
Yes, participants and the mentors. I mean, there's the mentored hunt that is sort of the culmination of the class, and meeting some of the folks who have been hunting for decades in this part of the state. That was really fascinating and really fun.
Yeah. What about for you?
Echoing a lot of what Flora said, I think the excuse to be outside is, I mean, that's definitely a good thing to gain from these classes. Another part, definitely for me, I've made a lot of good friends actually through taking these different classes, and it's funny, you start running into some repeat customers, like, oh, I saw you in the deer class, and here we are at like the squirrel hunting class or whatever. So like, okay, you and I are both sort of invested in this, and let's learn together. So let's exchange information. And there's been a couple people like that we've become friends over the different classes and through sharing experiences out in the field. And it's nice to have a learning community, a small group of people that you're all sort of going through the learning stages together. That's been really valuable for me. And that's mostly the students, but we have also become good friends with even some of the mentors who we text on a regular basis. We'll grab breakfast with them for no reason and just talk about the upcoming season or how their season went or whatever, and that's always fun. It's just it's become a center. Hunting has sort of become a central sort of, or like almost like a gathering place. This topic of hunting with people that we otherwise wouldn't have really had opportunities to meet and gotten to know, I think.
Yeah.
So
you guys have mentioned the mentors. Was it awkward at all, hunting with these people you didn't know? How did you guys break the ice? Tell me a little bit more about that relationship.
So for me, I had the same mentor for the deer class as I did the turkey class. So it was sort of like, the first time, I didn't find it at all awkward. I mean, the deer class and learning how to deer hunt with my mentor was just the most gentle introduction to the topic, I think, that I could have gotten. They walk you through every aspect. The mentor is over your shoulder, And I think, and a lot of these mentors have mentored many students, and so they already understand sort of the dynamics of a new hunter and what's going through their minds. And my my mentor rather, was just reading me, right? Like, I was there, I spotted a deer, and I was like, oh, okay. And, you know, I didn't know what to do. I'm kind of like, oh, there's a deer right there. And he's like, okay, calm down, it's cool. Like, you know, you can shoulder your rifle, like, make sure the safety, don't flip the safety off. He's walking you through everything, right? And, you know, he sees me starting to shake a little bit, the adrenaline's starting to dump. And he's telling, you know, he's like walking me through the breathing and everything. It was really funny, like, sort of looking back on it. And, you know, all the way up until, like, okay, if you feel comfortable, you can take the shot. And then, you know, he's just walking you through it just ever so gently. And then finally, like, you pull the trigger. And, you know, he gave me the time and the space to go up and approach the animal and kind of have a moment there with him. And then, you know, we got to work. We had to clean this thing and drag it out of there. So, but I mean, he was a great person to mentor me. I feel like it was great. It wasn't awkward at all. And again, I think the mentors have lots of experience, and they want to share, you know, sort of their own experiences with new people that haven't had the opportunity to hunt. So seeing him again for turkey, it was just like, you know, gave him a hug. Hey, it's good to see you.
Right.
Can't wait to go hang out in the blind for a couple hours with you again, you know? Like, it was just a blast. I had no problems hanging out with my mentor, and breaking the ice was super easy. There wasn't any, so.
Yeah, I had 3 different mentors just in the turkey process, so a little bit of an opposite experience. I would like to go on the record and say that I had terrible luck in turkey season. I now know it's not my fault, but I didn't see that during the season. So I just kept going at it, you know? I was going to get one no matter what. I would go out before work some days. Most of the weekends were out in a blind or camouflaged under a tree. And I had 3 different mentors in that process. I went out alone towards the end when I felt more comfortable. And all 3 of the mentors were great. I was a little nervous to get to know them. You know, I thought, when was the last time that I spent all day with someone that I don't know? What if we don't have things to talk about?
Right.
What if it's, you know, boring or uncomfortable, or I just want to go home. But like Martine said, all 3 of them, I mean, all the mentors are ready for any scenario and talk you through it, coach you through it. And they're out there because they love it, and they're just super welcoming. I mean, it was a great group it was all 3 men, all of them older than me. And again, when would I have met them necessarily in my small network of people? And now I get to, I think any of them, you know, if I call them up and say, hey, I really want to go hunting with someone, I think any of them would be open to it, which is such a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So the big question is, will you go hunting again?
We've both got our tags already for the
all
fall.
Geared up.
We're
Yeah.
ready.
We've got too much camo now to quit.
There's small apartment, a lot of camo.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think we're ready to rock.
Yeah, we've got our tags for the fall. We got bonus tags.
Yeah, we got the fall
Starts
tags
September
for turkey.
something.
For turkey?
Yeah, for turkey. Yeah.
Both of you doing. And you had mentioned you're doing the bow hunting class.
Yeah, correct.
Will you do another class again?
I will probably do another class again. Deer is still not particularly of interest to me, but there's all kinds of birds. I mean, that's a question of gear. How much gear do I want to go and buy? I don't know about that.
But definitely
maybe.
You're hooked on turkey at the very least.
Yeah, turkey's great. It's this weird addiction. I
mean, it's a
gotta
blast
get
when you're
one.
out there.
It's so much fun.
When they're interacting with you, and I don't know, they're not even all that smart, but their eyesight is so good. They hear so well. They just
You're in their world. I mean,
oh yeah, totally.
They see one thing that's off and they're out of there. Like they're smarter than you in that context.
Oh yeah.
Hunting is extremely humbling. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
It was. Yeah. I mean, it gives you a lot of time to reflect on what you're good at, what you're not good at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will absolutely be continuing.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. I was hoping you wouldn't steer me wrong here. Do you have any advice for anyone who might be considering participating in one of these classes?
I say it's like with learning any new process. The first chunk of time is the most difficult investment, and you feel like you don't know anything. I recommend taking at least one class. I actually might, instead of taking another class, I would prefer to just go out with a friend and watch them hunt and learn from them. It's if you're brand new to it, definitely try the classes. If you're not, then and you want to find a way to re-engage, go with a friend or look up any of the resources. There's so much great stuff in Wisconsin about hunting, and the regulations are readily available. I think it's, anywhere that you tap into any of that info, it's a great place to start.
I think for me, you just need to sign up and take the class. And sort of, that's not advice really, but I think the reason to just do that is the actual time commitment is not, it's not that demanding. It's 2 hours in the afternoon for a couple weeks, and then you go out for a weekend, and you're almost guaranteed a deer, I think. Maybe not a turkey. Turkey can be really hard, but I think a deer. And just that time that you invested, you're going to get that in some good meat at least, So I think just signing up and saying, and just be willing to invest 8 hours of classroom time and a day in hunting. You just have to sort of take the leap, I think, and be open to learning and potentially failing while you're out there. But it sort of takes like a little leap of faith. You just have to sign up and know that it's not going to be this huge, all-consuming time commitment at the time.
Right. Just give it a try.
Yeah, exactly. Give it a try. I'm in school. I was like so busy with my classes and my thesis and blah blah blah, and it took 2 minutes to sign up, and then I didn't think about it for a while, and then I get a notice on my calendar. Oh, hey, class. Oh, class is today.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, I signed up for this thing. Okay, let's go. And I went, and, all you have to do is pay attention while you're in class, and then you can kind of not think about it when you're out of class, and then just pay attention the next class and do that a couple times. But it's really not a huge time commitment.
There's, like, no homework or anything
There's no
between.
homework. Like, that's such an easy class, right? No homework. So that was It's a really light commitment, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And so if you're at all interested, sign up, strike while the iron's hot, just sign up, and then be willing to spend a couple hours in class learning, and I think you'll have a blast. Most of the students, I don't know of anyone that didn't have a great experience. We all learned something at the very least.
Yeah.
And most of the hours are field hours anyway. You're outside.
Yeah.
Did it depend? Did it vary by class?
It did, yeah. Some of it was some classroom time talking about, but it's sort of, you get some of the same material, right? It's, okay, hey, gun safety stuff.
Between all of the different species that you're learning to hunt.
Yeah, exactly. You all start in the same place, which is, okay, this is a firearm, these are the different firearms, these are the different actions, these are the rules that you have to abide by when you're using a firearm. Just to be safe. There's sort of that common ground. And then you get into more of the species-specific stuff of like, okay, what are the habits of deer? And let's go out into the field and look for what does deer sign look like? What does deer browse look like? Looking at maps and looking at topographic features and different features of the landscape, like how much forest there is or where the crops are or what the crops are even. Mm-hmm. So they get into that much detail. So you do learn a lot in these 2 hours. All you have to do is come in and be willing to learn and learn for 2 hours, pay attention for 2 hours, and you're good. And then, that Saturday when it's time to hunt, it's the whole day. So just give the day up and you're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys think we need to know about your experience or just what you thought about the Learn to Hunt programs in general?
I think there's a demand for it. Every time I mention it to somebody, it sort of piques their interest. For example, I met someone at the library. I was checking out some turkey hunting books because Flora and I, it was after the class, and her and I were hunting on our own. So I was like, okay, we need to do some homework. So I went to the library, got a bunch of books, and the woman that was sort of scanning the books was like, why in the world do you need eight turkey books? It's like, you know, I just started, I did this class, and like people told me turkeys are really hard, so here I am doing my homework. And she's like, what class is this? And blah, blah, blah. And I actually ran into her again, like maybe 2 weeks ago. And I told her, hey, you know what? The deer class just came out. And I forwarded her the email right then and there. So I think there's a lot of people that are interested in it. It's just a matter of like meeting that demand and making sure those people that are interested in it hear about these opportunities. Mm-hmm. And I mean, another thing is they're free. Like, what in this world is free?
Right.
So, like, truly free. You walk in with nothing. Like, it's gas and lunch for the hunt day, and that's it.
Right.
Which is, again, a good deal. So, but yeah, meeting the demand and reaching all those people that need to, or that are interested in it. Mm-hmm. I know it's a serious challenge, but I mean, there's a lot of people out there, I think, that are interested in it.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And if it overlaps at all with any of your interests, definitely try it. Definitely go for it. We have not bought meat at the grocery store in months. I mean, it's it's amazing, just a household of two, how much meat you can bring in and how long it lasts. Mm-hmm. And that was something that was important to us. And it's a free class. It's a great group of people. And it's a wonderful, thoughtful experience.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And another thing that's interesting is the meat it's sort of unique in terms of table fare. You can't really buy anything that tastes like venison or buy anything that tastes like wild turkey or wild waterfowl even, you know. Mm-hmm. and I don't know, it's just like eating something that you never get. It's a treat, right? The only way to get it is to know a hunter or go out and get it yourself. So I find that to be pretty special, just how sort of unique a culinary experience wild game can be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of my major motivators. I'm food motivated for sure.
I understand that.
Got to get out there and get it. So
absolutely. Interested in experiencing a Hunt for Food class yourself? We're hosting different classes for various species all over the state throughout the year. Visit dnr.wi.gov and search Hunt for Food for more information and to sign up for your space today. Already a hunter and want to give back to the hunting community by becoming a mentor for an upcoming Learn to Hunt class? We're always looking for volunteers to help us offer this to more people. Email us, dnrpodcast@wisconsin.gov, and we'll reach out with more information. Thanks for listening.